Hi, and welcome to the second episode of Off the Page. Today I'm going to share an idea from one of my newest books. It's called 30 Days to the Co-Taught Classroom. And my co-author on that book is Julie Costin. There she is. This is one of my favorite tools from the book, one of Julie's favorites too. It's a goal-setting form that is going to help teams, any collaborative team, not just co-teaching teams, but really could be any collaborative team, think about two different elements of their collaboration. So to back up a little bit, a lot of administrators and teachers ask, during consultations with them and when I'm doing workshops, they'll talk to me about the effectiveness of co-teaching and how do they assess how they're doing. And there are some obvious answers to that question. You can look at standardized test scores. You can look at more formal tools. You can look at curriculum-based assessments, of course. And it's also appropriate to look at things like IEP objectives and see how students are faring on those targets. But I find that those tools are inadequate for looking at the whole partnership, and that you might need supplements to be thinking about how students are doing and how you're doing. So we break the relationship, looking at the effectiveness of the relationship down into two components using this form or tool. And that is, we look at goals for teaching itself. So based on the synergy, the collaboration, how can you do better for all kids with and without disabilities, because there are two of you and you are now more powerful. And then the second aspect of the relationship that you can assess and study is the co-teaching itself. So how can you work on the health and the progress of your relationship as a team? So we recommend that you set two kinds of goals. And the first kind of goal that you would want to set would be goals for teaching as a team. So what are we going to do for them to teach more powerfully? So a couple of examples. You might set a goal for trying something new. So we will try project-based instruction by November 1st. Or something about your daily practice. We will call every parent at least twice this year to share good news. Or something that relates to student work. We will support each one of our students to read 10 books this semester. So those are goals for teaching. Goals for co-teaching. These are things that you would do to strengthen your own team. We will design and co-teach a lesson with our speech path and with our OT, occupational therapist, by the end of the quarter. Potentially something that kind of adds to the energy and the positive climate in the class. Like, we will dress in matching content-related outfits at least once a month. That could be anything from one is a cell, one is a molecule, one is predator, one is prey, one is an obtuse angle, one is an acute angle. You might have to fight for who gets to be acute and who has to be obtuse. Anyway, we will read 30 Days to the Co-Taught Classroom and try all of the suggested ideas inside. Of course, I really love that last example. Okay, what you'll notice about these goals is that they're observable and they're measurable. So anybody looking at these would know whether or not you've hit the target. So you and your co-teaching partner would have a real sense of where you are. Hope that you like this idea and it might be beneficial for your team. So go ahead. You don't need our form to do this. You can grab just a scrap piece of paper or your devices and start setting some goals. If you like this idea, join me for subsequent episodes of Off the Page. Thanks.